Hello and welcome to another little Milla's gaming video, which I've just fancied going over like my DS collection, which is not much, but I'm still going to do it anyway because I love the DS and it's quite nice. So I had the DS for a long time, and this is the one I've got now. Like, I did have another one, and I don't know what the hell that is, but I guess that's a sign of wear and tear, that little white speck there. But yeah, I did actually have in the past a red and black one. It was a model released here, and that was lovely, but I don't have it anymore. But the one I do have now is this yellow Dsi Xl, which is really nice, as you can see. And yeah, it's not the most oldest of consoles. It's like quite new by DS standards, and it was like the last model before the 3DS came out, which I'll save for another day because that console's even better. But yes, little the home screen and a little photo of a dog. Dog's yeah. So yeah, after actually pressing that, but yeah, it's hard to see with this screen now, but there's actually a lot of actual damage to this little screen because I used the stylus without a screen protector, so and this is quite damaged. Like, you could probably hear it. Yeah, you can hear it now, which is way more than it should be, but that's child ownership for you. So yeah, I'm gonna go over the games I've got now. And there aren't too many. There's, especially from a first-party perspective, I'm missing a lot of the games that I should have to be a real gamer, and other gatekeeping stuff, which is crap. Even though I do want to get some of these games, especially in the future. But I actually have most of what I want, what I really am happy to have, and especially because a lot of them are now expensive, even the ones I've not played, which is good to have as well. So I'm going to start with a first-party Nintendo title, with the irony not lost there, and that's 42 all-time classics, or Clubhouse games, as it's known in the US. And yeah, this was the game that was the first in that series, which only just got a sequel on Switch, like in 2020, which is really cool because this was a incredible compilation. Spent hours. Yeah, many hours playing these games as a kid, like just mainly against the computers for the most part. Like that was that fun. I taught myself chess with this game, and yeah, it turned out to be quite a little marvel. And I'm glad that Nintendo is keeping this and other like touch generations IPs, because I believe this was part of that series. There are other games on the DS that were also part of that series, which I don't think I have any of them, but this one was definitely very much in the casual genre, even if not a touch generation game. Alright, time to admit an RPG sin with this next one. Chrono Trigger, Shrink Wrapped. Not played it, never played it. I want to play it, and yeah, this is the best version of the game apparently, and it's a bit more accessible with more content, and also is now ridiculously expensive. So good luck getting a copy of that. And I got really lucky with that, like years ago. Now onto my Dragon Quest stack, because yes, I've got a stack of them. I believe it's all the localized releases on the DS, but I'll go through them, because some of them I've played, but some of them I haven't. Yeah, Dragon Quest 4, Chapters of the Chosen. This was the first, like, European Dragon Quest release on the DS, and was the first time this game came out in English as well. I've not played this one. It's one of the better ones in the series. This, like all these mainline DS games in the Dragon Quest series, you can get them on phones, and from what I've heard, that's the recommended version to get, especially now because this has gone up in price. And I've heard the translation for this was quite OTT with like accents and stuff, which I don't mind, especially as like a British person. Like, having those accents like localized is actually kind of cool, and I'm looking forward to digging into that eventually. And one game that I've already thoroughly dug into and enjoyed is Dragon Quest V. This game is incredible. It's among the best in the series. It's considered a starting point, especially for the 2D stuff, and I love it. Easily like among the best games of all time. This is a US import because 5 is more expensive than 4 in Europe, and even in the past when I got this, the 5 was already starting to climb up. And this game was incredible. I've not 100% beat it yet because I got stuck on a certain super boss right near the end of the game. And when you get an item from that, you can unlock the final dungeon, and I just put it down a while ago, and I want to finish it. I plan to beat it. It's on my list of things to beat this year, or next year, or in the future. Next up, we have the 6th game, Dragon Quest VI, and of course, much like 4 and 5, this was the first time this game came out in Europe as well, and in the USA, which, I liked this game overall. It's considered to be one of the weaker entries in the Dragon Quest series for multiple reasons, and one of which is its map. And there's like 2 like vast maps. You've got the dream world on the top and the real world on the bottom. Like there's not on the cover here, but you can kind of see when there's like a real world versus dream world. You got the world map, and you can literally like see through the hole into the ground. And in that sense, it's great. And I did enjoy this one, but it's easy to get lost, and I can see why it's considered the weak in the series, but definitely a game to play if you're into the series though. And next up is probably my favourite game on the DS actually, is Dragon Quest IX Sentinels of the Starry Skies, and this game was incredible. It looks amazing for the DS, plays fantastic even now, really needs a remake because this game is like fantastic. Like, what makes this series different is, much like this game, this is the only mainline game where you like pick your own like avatar and stuff. I mean, except X, I think, because that's a mainline as well. But in terms of localized ones, this is the only like real one. Oh, and there's also Monster Battle Royale, which has something similar to the customization in this game, but that's also Japan exclusive. Yeah, the best part about this game was the multiplayer. Like, I remember like in school, like going with like people at the time, and we played multiplayer during lunch break, and we went into the dungeons and the grottos, and this game was incredible with the multiplayer and DLC quests, which I never got to do, but I saw footage of them on YouTube, and they were incredible. And I really wish to see like this remade eventually, like full HD, like in Dragon Quest XI, or even like the upcoming HD 2D remake if it's good, which I hope it is good. And this game is this is one of the cheaper ones, so if you do want to jump in on this one, I'd say this is one you could viably get alongside 6 maybe. Alright, now we're on to the spin-offs. We have the Monsters games, which I'm going to do them broadly together because I wasn't super into these when I tried these years ago. I think it's because growing up I had a kind of like, I'm not iffy, but kind of like, I would find like some things I gelled with, something I didn't. As an adult I played and loved them, and these are one of those games, and I want to try them again like from the beginning, and hopefully that I can maybe drive with them a bit. Like, I was going to try them on the 3DS, but none of those ever came to the West. I mean, Dragon Quest Monsters Jokers 2 was the last Dragon Quest game that came out in the West for quite some time, like a few years. And this is partly because this is actually the base version of the game. There was a Joker 2 Professional that came out in Japan, which never came out here, which I think was part of the problem, especially once Nintendo picked up this version of the game for the West and didn't release the professional version instead. And I can see why people didn't buy it, but I hope those games are good. Like, we haven't had a Joker or Monsters release at all for over 10 years now, and I think it's probably going to stay that way until the series is like rebooted in Japan or something. Then we finally have one of my favourite games ever as well, Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime, or Slime Morimori 2, because it's the second game in that little sub-series. It's basically action platforming combined with tower defense. It's brilliant, and it's so cute. And you play a little slime, and you get in the little slime tank, and we need to get enemies, you just blow the flute to summon the tank battles, and it's so cute. And I love it. I ended up playing the third game as well, which was a bit better than this, but that is also Japanese only. But if you can track this down, I'd give it a go. This game is incredible. It also doesn't take too long either. Right. Next one. Electroplankton, which I've not played yet. Looks really cool though, especially with the whole like stylus orchestra thing, and the cover's great too. Electroplankton 3, The Drowned City. This is one of the DS Etrians that never came out in Europe, because the original trilogy on the DS, only the first one came out in Europe. And in the US, they got like the second game, Heroes of the Guard, which did come out on Europe on the 3DS, and 3, which is the Drowned City, which setting-wise, I think it's the best in the series. Like this Armor Road, the city on the water, and it added a lot to the series at the time, like the overworld like this, which you see in Electroplankton 4, and to an extent in Nexus, and the dungeon crawling with the multiple endings, the characters and classes. I didn't finish this one because it's quite hard, and also it's nice as a modern fan that goes back and having played the 3DS games to jump back into this one and see the differences and how the series has changed, mostly for the better. I really wish this game did get a remake though, especially on the 3DS. And hopefully someday, if the series comes back, we get this game remade and with some more accessibility tweaks and stuff like that, because the setting in this is great. I just love the whole like southern seas and the whole vibe, the desert vibe, and not desert, the island vibe, and also the fact that the music is amazing. Best FN synth in the series. Oh, and best part, you may not have gotten Untitled 3, but the remixes of some of the songs in this game, in the Mystery Dungeon games and Nexus, are incredible as well. Fantastic game. And a fantastic series. Kirby Mouse Attack, not played this one. I want to play it. And I also want the rest of the Kirby games on the 3DS, which vary in price significantly. So, yeah, when I'm in a state where I need to take a break from these action games, I'll give this a go. Quite lucky enough to find this in a CEX, actually, because finding games CEX is quite a minefield, especially when you are dealing with shops that won't always take games in the proper condition. Like, it's really easy to find DS games in there, and I've even come across DS games with blatantly fake covers, as in pirated covers. So you've got to really watch the minefield with that. Right, Mario Kart DS now, and I wasn't actually the biggest fan of this one, to be honest. I basically played Future Entries and came back to it, and it was like, I really struggled to click with it because of its comeback from the newer entries, but I imagine at the time this was breathtaking, and to be fair, like, even playing it now, like, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I can really appreciate the charm, what it brought, and all the stuff it added. And yeah, I within the B-Dasher too. Yeah, I do love the series. I'm just not super into this one. Mario vs Donkey Kong 2, March of the Minis. Not played this one either. I did play Miniland Mayhem, but I had to sell that. But I would like to play the series again and try this again, which, yeah. Meteos, also not played, but this is considered to be a classic puzzle game, so I will try it someday. And also the manual on this is really thick. Like, they do not make manuals like this thickness anymore. Fucking hell. So thick. And so nice. Oh, at least getting these older games, you know you're in for a good time when it's a good, thick manual. Put it down there, there we go. To the last ones now, and moving on to a rare RPG, which has been recommended as one of the best on the series, or was kind of like this little sub-series, if that makes sense, like which is Solitaire Robo, Red the Hunter, which is also expensive, and lucky to be able to get hold of this, and I do want to play this soon. Actually, I don't know when, but having a go at it, especially because like last year, they're kind of like the third game in the kind of Surge Concerto. Yeah, I think it's something like either Surge Concerto or Tail Concerto. This kind of like series where they're all vaguely connected by the developer CyberConnect 2, The third game was Fuga Melodies of Steel. This is the second one, and the other game is it is Tail Concerto on the PS1, which only came out in the US. So I do want to try this one. It looks really cool. And another game, which is the last of the RPGs actually, is Summer Night Twin Age. Probably the only Summer Night game I ever stand a chance of playing, and yeah, it looks really cute. It's one of these stylus games which lets really overuse the stylus control, but it looks so cute, so charming, and it's Atlas as well. And Atlas, when they picked up third-party games, usually picked up gems, and this was one of the few Summer Night games that ever came out in English. There were the Swordcraft story games on the Game Boy Advance, and there were the 5 and 6 official releases by Gaijin Works, and then there was this game. So I'm looking forward to giving that a try someday. Super Mario 64 DS, all-time classic, great game. I do like it. Very much got that old school Mario feel. A lot of promises met with beautiful innovation and lots of enjoyment to be had. It's just a great game. And yeah, I'm hoping to maybe try this again one day. Maybe even try multiplayer and stuff. Because this game it's great. It's if you're into games, that's a must play, whether it be on that version or the original, which you can also get on Switch. WarioWare DIY, played a little bit of this. I did like it. I haven't played it for a while though, but I imagine that people who are really into the whole DIY aspect got a lot of milestones out of that. And finally, for the English games, Yoshi's Island DS, which is, well, the kind of like the sequel to Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo, which I've played this game, not the original, but I did really enjoy this one. And all these cute animations, and the whole touchscreen, like having them over both screens, was also really cool as well. It's so cute, and the music was cool. It is a classic. I have a handful of Japanese games, only 4. And some of these I got in a bundle. One I actually got in Japan itself, which I'll do the Japanese games first that I got in the bundle. And they're all Japanese language learning games. This is Kanji Dictionary. It's basically a kanji dictionary as a DS game, which is a thing. Don't ask. But it's really cool. The DS return to stuff like this. I've been trying again with Japanese, as I mentioned on a podcast, Milla's Gaming Podcast. I'll plug the link in my description. And this game was... I don't think I'll be trying this for it, but if you're into like using DS games to help learn Japanese, that's something that I've heard is good for that. Which is why I got it. Kotobo no Puzzle. DS. This is a DS entry. It's a long-running Bamco series. There's one on the Switch as well, in terms of recent entries. Kind of like a crossword puzzle game, I think, but I've not played it. Yeah, I've played none of these, by the way. And the third one is... I do not remember what this is at all. I think it's like... I don't remember what this is at all. It's definitely a Japanese language learning game. I don't even know. I should have double checked this before uploading it, to be honest. Or let's see. What's the... Oh, that's it. Shengoku Kan. It's I've played another game by the developer, was Right to Learn Doraemon, and I think it's from the same company. So they've made them on the DS, ported some to the 3DS, and then some of them were ported to the Switch as well. So yeah, I've not played this one, but what I played of the other game is looks promising. And it's all in Japanese, so it's aimed at little kids, so it's kind of like you give it to a young kid and you can help them learn Japanese, which is a recommended thing to do if you're learning as an adult. And finally got a Nintendo Curio, Tomodachi Collection, which is basically the Japan-only prequel to Tomodachi Life, where this game came out first, was never localized, but the second game was. And yeah, the Mii's were on the DS, which is really cute. yeah, it does look quite cute actually. I've not played Tomodachi Life, but I imagine this is quite similar to that. It's in all these like cute interactions. It's so cute. And yeah, hopefully we get a third game soon, with gay marriage of course, but you know. In the meantime, I'll might keep this sealed, might not. Oh, and by the way, this is actually second hand. I got this from a Don Quixote book off, I think. Yeah, Don Quixote book off. And this is they keep these games in great nick. Like, of all the games when I was in Japan, I got from a book off. The only one that I wasn't complete was a Taiko game where they came with like little like styluses. And even then, like, the game was in great condition. It was literally just missing the styluses. So yeah, I think I'm done with this little collection pile now. So yeah, the DS was a fantastic little console. I love it. And hope you do too. And if you have any comments on DS and stuff like that, just leave replies in the comments below, etc. and so forth. Like, comment, subscribe, and tune into my podcast, which I leave on YouTube every couple of weeks. I hope to, anyway. That's my intention. And yeah, and also we're also on the Anchor, which I'll also link in the description. Bye bye.